What's up guys, Marczell Klein here, and today I'm going to teach you something that completely changed my life. And I know it'll change yours, so if you really pay attention, stop what you're doing, and just be patient for the next 10 minutes or so, your life will never, ever be the same. And I'll tell you why. Because today I'm going to teach you how to let go of the things stopping you, of all the programs that tend to come up. And I'll give you a perfect example just to start things off. You meet someone you like in a relationship. At the beginning, what are you focused on? You're focused on making them like you. You're focused on getting them to be with you. And then you guys start this relationship, and over time, either her or him or both of you, you guys start to kind of not really like each other, and you start to fight all the time, and there starts to be problems, and you start to get jealous and insecure, and you don't feel good about the relationship anymore. But what actually happened? Well, at the beginning, you sent your representatives. You sent the part of you that should really be running the show. And then your representatives go on vacation and your programming is left behind to run the rest of the relationship. And the reason this happens is because your mind wants to automate everything you do. It wants to automate your programming when it comes to making money, when it comes to being happy, when it comes to being in a relationship. And only when you are very present and you're in control can you reprogram the mind to do the things that you want. You see, believe it or not, 95% of the time, your mind is running programs, literally very much like a computer. And if you don't change those programs to be favorable for what you want and what you desire, you're going to be running those same programs your entire life. You see, we have about 75,000 to 80,000 thoughts every day, and 95% of those thoughts are exactly the same thoughts. And the same thoughts lead to the same decisions. And the same decisions lead to the same choices. And the same choices lead to the same actions, which then give you the same results. But if you really want things to change in your life, the amount of money you make, the kinds of relationships you have, I want you to understand this principle. You can create the life you want. You can create the love you want. You can create the wealth, the abundance, the confidence, the fearlessness, the happiness that you desire if you can let go of the programs and patterns that have been running you. You see, it is so easy to lose yourself. It's so easy to forget how to become aware of these things. So in this video, I want to teach you how to reprogram your mind and how to, in this moment right now, create the life that you've always wanted. You see, when we get a new car, we graduate from college, or we finally get that dream job or that amazing girl or guy, and we finally get things that we want, right? What happens? Well, your brain hasn't had a program yet for that. You haven't created something for that. So what does the brain do? It then decides to go into the present, and now you have to rewrite the program. You have to create a program for that thing, so it's super exciting. And then after a week or so, you kind of got used to it, it automates it, and you want the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and you're in this vicious cycle of things never being enough. Instead of having things in the present, enjoying, being grateful. This view I'm at, I haven't been here in 5 years. I forgot how much I love this view. And I used to come here with my friends, and we had no money. We had nothing, but we would come up here and we would laugh and we would talk and we would joke around, and it was so much fun. And I come back and it makes me so much nostalgic. But I realized that I can create those emotions everywhere I go. And right now I want to give you the tools that will allow you to create the feelings, the programs, and the behaviors that you desire right now in the present. And the first thing you have to realize is that all the time you're going to be focused on bad things. You know, I was really stressed out a few months ago about paying my rent. I was really stressed out about paying my bills. My bills are very high. And why was I stressed out? You see, when I wanted the house, when I wanted the cars, when I wanted this lifestyle, and I wanted a huge team and a bunch of employees that I could pay, I wasn't focused on not being able to make my bills or not being able to afford them. I was focused on how I could do it. And I was focused on it working out. And when I was focused on it working out, my emotions, my programming changed. I was like, what needs to happen for this to work out? I was motivated, I was excited, I would put in the work, I would close people for high amounts, I was on calls all the time, I was motivated, I would sleep 5-6 hours a night, I'd wake up and I'd go at it. And then over time I got used to it, right? I'm used to the team, I'm used to this thing, and this started to annoy me, and that started to annoy me, and I just kind of got lazy and I took things for granted. And before I knew it, I was just bored of it. And then I got stressed. And my stress came from what? I wasn't focused on how I can grow, I was focused on how I'm not going to make it. And that's the thing. Anytime you're stressed out, anytime you get into a relationship and the relationship ends, you see, the pattern I had was I'd get into a relationship for 2 months, 3 months max, and then it would end. But why? Because the second I got into the relationship, I wasn't thinking about how it would end up being love, right? As soon as I got them, as soon as they liked me, I didn't think about how this would be the lifelong partner I've always desired, right? I thought about, oh, this isn't gonna last more than a month or two. And what would happen? I created that outcome. But it wasn't me, it was my past experiences, and this is what you have to understand. So this is very important. Pain or pleasure is what we go towards or go away from. And your mind will have the right strategy when you're young. For example, when it comes to love, you'll have this puppy love, you'll be innocent, you'll give everything to somebody, and then you'll get hurt. And what happens when you get hurt is your brain tells you that was the wrong strategy. So then you change, and all of a sudden you have all this trauma. And in order to protect yourself, you're like, I gotta be aware of all the red flags someone might have. And what you're really doing is you're letting the trauma that's been programmed into your nervous system, into your biology, into your subconscious, come up. And then in the relationship, all of a sudden you look at negative things and you're creating a toxic relationship. You're creating a toxic environment. Now, there's always a dominant person in every relationship. And if you're going to be the dominant person, you have one of two choices. One, you can make the relationship end, or you can lead it into something beautiful, something amazing. Whether it's your friendships, your business relationships, or your intimate ones, you have to create the love. You have to create the work ethic. You have to create the culture that you desire by projecting it yourself. And it's so hard to do that if you go back into the past all the time and you're running on old programs and patterns and fears and trauma. Trauma isn't just, oh, I had the worst experience ever, I was molested as a kid. That's not just trauma. Trauma is anything that caused you any pain, a heartbreak, losing a friend, being betrayed. That's all trauma. And if you don't allow yourself to let go of the past and come back into this present moment, right now, in this present moment, who do you want to be? Make the decision. I want to be confident. I want to be happy. I want to create life. I want to create love. I want to create abundance. I want to become wealthy, right? You have all these things in your mind that you can create in the moment. But if you let your patterns, your programs, the things that were running you in the past continuously come up, you're never going to actually have that life. Because 5% of the time you're present, 5% of the time you're conscious, 5% of the time you're making these decisions, and the other 95% you're on autopilot. And everything you see, even this view, will bring up an old pattern and an old behavior. You see, your brain is this piece of information, this computer that records everything. Every moment of your life is being recorded. And it records these things and then creates new behaviors or puts it in old behaviors. And by the time you're 35, about 95 to 97% of all your behavior will be exactly the same unless you change. Now, some people wait till something traumatic happens, right? Like I said, you'll change the strategy when there's a lot of pain. Why wait till things get really bad? Why wait till you can't pay your bills? Why wait until things aren't working out before you make the decision to change? Why not change right now, right here, where you can literally tell yourself, I am going to create amazing things in my life. You see, instead of looking at something and immediately jumping to a conclusion, giving it a meaning, giving it a story, you can make a new story. You can make a new self-fulfilling prophecy. When I see a relationship and all of a sudden your girlfriend doesn't respond, is she cheating on you? No, she's just busy. Doesn't matter. Because the love doesn't come from the external. The happiness doesn't come from the external. It's the internal that creates happiness, that creates wealth, that creates abundance. And if you don't understand that it's you who creates the life you have, you will never, ever shape your destiny. You will never have the things that you desire, because whatever your goals and wishes and desires are, your programming is always going to be the one in charge. And the thing is, you created these programs, you created these decisions, the things that make you do the things you do. So how do you change them? Well, this is a simple concept. Self-hypnosis, hypnosis, right? When people work with me, I hypnotize them live. I hypnotize them to get into their mind, right? We bypass this something called the critical mind. The critical mind is the part of you that says, I can't change, I'm stuck here. It's protecting your patterns, because these programs allowed you to survive. They allowed you to get to this point right here where you don't die, right? And now imagine this. Everything you've done up until now has allowed you to survive, and all of a sudden you change. What can that do? That can cause you pain, that can cause fear. All pain is fear. There's only two emotions, love and fear. And everything you do either comes from the pain that has happened in your life or from fear. Why do people self-sabotage? Why are people not motivated? Because they don't see the pleasure in the outcome. They don't focus on it working out, they focus on it failing, and this is so unconscious. You have 80,000 thoughts a day. 80,000. That's a thought a second. You have constant thoughts running through your mind and you're not even aware of them. Once you start to become aware, once you become present, a thought will come up and you'll say no. You will tell your body to submit to the things you want. Literally, this is what changed my life. I was sitting down and I every second realized my mind is wandering. There's a thought here, there's a thought there. This is bad, that's bad, that's bad. And I said, no, shut the fuck up. I told my mind to shut the fuck up and sit still. Sit still. Focus on what I want. Negative thought pops up, no. I'm gonna think about good things. And as I started to focus on the things that I wanted, as I started to focus on the outcomes that were positive, not negative, I started to attract them into my life. Every time I've ever had a change in my life, and you can ask any of my friends, it's not something that happens over a year. It happens almost overnight, because overnight my mindset will shift and boom, I'll make $40,000. I'll make $75,000 in 5 days. I'll do all these crazy things. I'll attract the most amazing partner in my life. I'll have perfect friends. I'll move into a house. I'll go buy a new car. I wake up, I decide I want the car. I go get the car. I never see it not working out. It always works out for me. And that is why I am where I am. I'm not 22 and I'm not lucky. So many people get lucky. They got famous, they blew up. I haven't blown up. I'm not super famous as of right now when this was filmed. But I will over time, because consistency and the hard work that I put in, it's not even hard for me, it's fun, will allow me to reach my goals. If you want to reach your goals, you have to overcome the things that are subconsciously stopping you from getting there. You are always on autopilot if you are not present. And if you allow yourself to get into the present moment, right? Why is a relationship the best at the beginning? Why is everything the most fun when you first get it? Because you are present. And you can feel those emotions every single day. And I want to help you do it. So if you are ready to change your life, implement the things I just told you, go ahead and click the link below and schedule a call with me. I will help you change your life. And if you like this video and you want more things like this, I will continuously post. I'm here to dedicate my life to changing yours. So go ahead and give that a thumbs up, subscribe, comment below. Let me know if you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.